Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. This is your go-to place for entertaining car talk, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. What's the local skinny on used cars, Carvana, and other hidden mysteries of Houston's used car market? We talk to auto star Mac DeLaup. Jeff talks Mustang prototypes. Later, we're going to talk to car facts and what you should know before you buy. Conrad has the Car Clinic Plus. We'll have the stories making auto news headlines all straight ahead on the edition of In Wheel Time leading up to Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Dziekan. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. You know, we razz him because he's easy to razz and fun to razz, but he knows
we want to be him.
Yeah, and he knows that we're not serious about anything. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mac DeLaup.
Shaking his head.
Well, I don't think there's ever been a serious bone in y'all's body. That's all. And that's what makes this show great.
Well, thank you. Will, we try. But we were noticing before we went on the air with you that there was a baseball bat and an unmounted deer head back
what's
there.
Up with that?
Did you dispatch the deer with the baseball bat?
Is that Donner or Blitzen?
Did you put me in wide angle? Usually that's not even in there, but now that I look over there, you're right. It's that's actually a deer that I shot down at my son's ranch. And
you used a gun instead of the baseball bat.
The baseball bat is a commemorative bat. Actually, I'll grab it and show you.
Let's see this.
I do.
I'm glad you got dressed up for us, by the way.
Oh, now you know I'm in shorts.
You
right?
you got strings hanging from your pants. Oh, those are your legs.
I think it's just a video. Anyway, this is actually Joe Perez. He owns a bat company by the name of OTW, which is Over the Wall. He is actually making a lot of strides in the industry, including pro players that are using it now. They're here in Houston. This is a commemorative bat he did for my Sci-Fair Educational Foundation last year. Salute to Heroes. And this was actually signed by George W. Bush's pilot, who we had as our guest speaker.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And so amazing story. Amazing story.
And he's here in Houston.
And he is here in Houston. That's right. OTW. OTW. So that was one of the bats, but he does Major League Baseball bats and competing with the big guys and all that kind of stuff. But,
nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this office.
You know a lot of people.
Excuse me?
You know a lot of people.
He knows us.
Well, I'm going on 40 years now in the car business, 39 to be exact. And after 36 years with Eagle, you really do. You meet a lot of wonderful people. That's the best part of this job. Best part of being in the car business is the wonderful people. And there are a lot of great people in the business. I enjoy it, truly.
So, Mac,
stay away from it.
Mac, where is Big Mac's Auto Sales?
We are at 17,000 Northwest Freeway. What we did is we took an old used car lot. We completely gutted the interior of the building. It's small. It had 2 service bays when I bought it. I say bought it. I actually ended up leasing it. He wouldn't sell it to me yet. Let's hope. Mo, if you're listening, I still want to buy it. But it holds between 40 and 50 cars. 17,000 Northwest Freeway is basically between Senate and Jones Road. So if you take the Beltway exit, we're on the right-hand side about a quarter of a mile. I'm sorry, if you take the Jones Road exit from the Beltway, right-hand side, you can't miss us. It's a unique dealership. We're trying to bring everything the franchise dealer has to the pre-owned business. And that allows us, we put 6 months, 6,000-mile warranties on every qualified vehicle, and about 95% of our vehicles qualify. We do a full multi-point inspection on every vehicle. I like to tell my customers that there's not one car on this lot I would personally drive. And I've got very high standards when it comes to the vehicles that I buy and sell. So,
who buys your cars, Mac? Do you go out and buy them yourself?
I do. In fact, I spent almost the entire day yesterday buying cars for the dealership. And we also locate cars for customers. We make a reasonable profit, but not an unreasonable profit. I delivered a 22 BMW 430i recently. I just picked up a 22 Tacoma let's see, it was a TRD off-road for a customer. They're picking it up on Tuesday. You have to really spend a lot of time finding the cars, especially with the industry the way it is right now. And we search them all over the United States. I've got thousands of auctions available to me. No one puts the effort that we do in the small dealership that we've got in finding the car that's right for our customer.
Well, let's talk about the industry and the used car market, because all I'm reading is ugly things, because it looks as though that the used car market is starting to flip with more and more new cars becoming available. And, what do? I mean, you go out and you buy a $30,000 car and put it on the used car lot, and then within a week or two, there's no profit in it because you can't sell it for what you bought it for.
No, that's right. The industry took a real switch in the last 60 days. And I kind of like it to a degree. I mean, I certainly don't want our dealers to lose money on cars, and that's not what anybody wants to do. However, it gives them the incentive either to hold on a little bit until prices go back up, or to sell. One of the sayings in the car business: your first loss is your best loss, and that is on a vehicle. They're not going to typically, when you have a downturn, they're not typically going to turn around and go the other direction. Although in this particular market, by the way things are going, that could happen. Right now, I've seen auction prices drop 20 to 30%.
Oh, wow.
And that's pretty significant. It's pretty significant. The overall industry, however, certain cars have maintained. It depends on the demand. In Texas, trucks haven't taken a real big drop. In certain areas of the nation, they have. Right now, your northern states are selling cars for lower, but I really stay away from the snow country cars because of the salt. But you don't have to worry about that for the first 2 to 4 years. You really don't. If you get a car out of that environment, it hasn't penetrated anything. It's the older cars that you have to worry about in the northern states. So there are still good opportunities. A lot of dealers still stick with a 60 to 90-day turn. That means they're going to take their losses up front. They'll regain them later. Certainly the profits they've made over the years support it. It's a good time for the consumer to buy a car right now.
It's kind of like playing blackjack, isn't it, though? I mean,
It is. It is. You can watch the trends, but you have to watch them very, very closely. Manheim is still the authority out there, the MMR, which is the Manheim Market Report. That is still the trends. We've got tools. All of the dealers have tools that we can search the entire nation, see where the trends are up and down in certain areas. It takes a lot of time. Don, that's one thing that I learned as an independent dealer. The last time I was buying and selling cars was in the mid to late 80s when I first joined Johnny Wanda, and I was still writing drafts and raising my hand. And now everything's done on the internet. It's a safe place for us to be buying on the internet because the condition reports are very well done.
Let's talk about that for a minute because
Sure.
We were having a discussion in our last hour about the fact that there are some unscrupulous online dealers that are hedging their bets and taking what is basically registration fees and putting it in their pocket and holding it for 30 days, and then the buyer of the used car winds up with a car that is not registered with the state. He can't get a license plate for it. The car, and it's Carvana. And Carvana is the one that...
Not to mention any names.
Not to mention any names, but, I mean, let's call them out. I mean, I didn't make this. They did.
Yeah.
Well, the state of Michigan's taking them to court. The state of Pennsylvania's taking them to court. And I'm sure all the other states are starting to pay attention to what's going on.
And it's a continuous news story. So there you go.
But, Mac, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm of the old school, and I realize that. But if I'm going to buy a used car, I want to go kick the tires. I don't want to have a used car delivered to me. And I know that's kind of the trend these days with the Gen Xers and younger people than us. But, boy, that sure is rolling the dice to me.
No, and I agree with you, and I can't make a comment for Carvana or the processes or what they do, but I think all you have to do is look at their past and their past performance, and you can figure out real quick they're not on the direction that they should be. I don't disagree with the process of delivering a car at home, but I would most definitely have an independent inspector inspect any car that you purchase from anyone before that's done. If a dealership won't let you do an independent inspection, that you don't need to buy that car. I guarantee our cars. I'm not going to tell you we haven't had issues. Occasionally, you get a used car that leaves a lot, gets a check engine light that comes on, and we get them to turn right back around, or within a reasonable amount of time. Unfortunately, we have a backup of a warranty on those cars. So our customers are guaranteed they're going to be happy with their vehicle. And if not, I'm going to take it right back and I'm going to find them another car. That happened recently, and I hate to name anything, but it happened recently on the Land Rover that I delivered. I had a customer come in about 2 weeks ago, took delivery of the Land Rover, and this car we drove for weeks to make sure it was good. We even we do the multi-point checks every time, but it came back and I did not feel comfortable, even after our repair, because it was a check engine light, but it was potentially something that could come up later. We found a Lexus GX 464, and she is delighted. She's happy with her vehicle. And I took the car to auction, disclosed even to the auction, and sold it under a yellow light that this vehicle did have an issue. So, but you're right. There are still a lot of things that are happening in the industry. There are damaged vehicles that are repaired by dealers who have body shops, and it's not a bad thing as long as the dealer has a good body shop, can return the vehicle back to OEM specifications. But that's where you need an independent, or you need someone that can genuinely look at this car. The auctions are great. I've got, without paying them anything extra, I've got 3 days to inspect that car, make sure it's exactly the way it's described, and if not, that car goes back. And I can tell you, I've arbitrated a number of cars over the last almost year that we've been open, and they don't force these cars on you. They put it back on the dealers. So it is perfectly safe to buy auction cars from the right dealer.
Well, but I think, Mac, that's the thing. I mean, you're going to where I think you're a dealer. You have a physical presence, and you've got a reputation that you've built up. And you deal with customers like they're customers, like clients, back and forth as you need to. But if, like Don was saying earlier, if I go out there and just buy a car off the internet from a dealer in North Carolina and they ship it to my house, I don't have anybody like you to deal with. And to me, true. That's kind of where I see the difference between a presence and developing a trust of somebody like you. Agreed.
And there aren't many of us. There are some good quality independent dealers. I will tell you that now. I'm not into buying rental cars. I have bought a very, very small number of rental cars, but I go through it completely to make sure it's going to be low mileage. And that's hard to find today because the rental car companies are doing nothing but buying used cars now. Right. So it's difficult to do. They'll put 60, 70, 80,000 miles on a car now. They just can't get availability. Loosening things up the way it is right now with the new cars, and the bulk of what's coming in right now are the upper end trucks, the upper end cars, the vehicles that are very, very popular. They're building first, but it does give the customer right now, especially with the availability of new vehicles, it gives the customers a great opportunity to buy a used car. I do, no matter where you buy the car, I do recommend finding a dealer, finding an independent that will go over the top for you. Find the car that best meets your needs. We try to right up front tell everything. I mean, the rates are up, everything's up, but there's still some good deals out there. I represent through QAC around 40 credit unions. I've managed to get some of our mainstream lenders financing at this little independent, and that's because we had such a great relationship in the past. Took such good care of people at Johnny Go Honda, and that continues at our dealership. So I'm very proud of what we're building, and the momentum is building. In a downed economy, when everybody seems to be going the opposite direction, we're actually increasing in sales, especially in November.
Oh, good for you. Well, it's something I've always said. It's a good business is judged based on when something goes wrong and how they react, versus when everything goes well and they don't have to react.
That's right. And I always recommend get peace of mind. Buy the extended service contract. Make sure the extended service contract that they're utilizing is a good one. They're easily checked on the internet. Make sure that they have high ratings. We sell the bulk of our pre-owned cars with extended service contracts.
Well, I have to tell you, Mac, that's something that I'm going to chime in here. I have a friend of mine that had Car Shield, and what an absolute nightmare it was dealing with them, trying to get the check engine light fixed on it. She spent $1,000 of her own money at a no longer reputable repair facility. So they took her $1,000, and still, when she left there for the third time, the check engine light was still on. Wound up having to take it back to the Jaguar dealership to get it fixed. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and they can be. And I can tell you that a lot of the European cars, after a certain period of time, check engine lights become a nightmare. They are so sensitive. Technology is so high. And in many cases, it's not so much the fault of the manufacturer. And I'm not going to put it on the consumer, but you've got to maintain these vehicles. You've got to maintain these vehicles at the intervals that they recommend. They know their cars better than anybody. We all know that Land Rover Jaguar is far superior than what they were 20 years ago, and what they were even 10 years ago, since I guess it's Tata that owns them.
Yes.
And so they've made strides, but check engine lights are common. Check engine lights can be from the simplest thing in the world to a major defect, and usually 90% of the time it's an extremely simple thing. I mean, quality of fuel. Make sure you're buying your fuel at a quality dealer. There's a lot of convenience stores that don't necessarily, not so much today, because our convenience stores are selling Shell and Exxon and so many really goods. Convenience stores have changed significantly over the years. Valero, great gas. So I mean, there's a lot of things you have to do. Some people refuse because of the vehicles that they're driving. They refuse to put the premium or at least the middle grade fuel in their cars, and it does make a difference. I'm driving, and I almost hate to admit this, but because 20 years ago I wouldn't even trade a Land Rover. I'm driving a Land Rover Defender 110 right now, but I know I've got to feed it premium fuel, or it's not going to perform and potentially give me a check engine light in a short period of time. But it's a magnificent car. But I do like to drive all types of different cars. This happened to be the first Land Rover I've ever owned. But you really do have to pay attention to what the manufacturer tells you to do. I'm not, and you know what? If I can help any way, if she's still having an issue with her vehicle, I'd love a phone call, Don. I'll be happy to help.
Mac, I know you're always there for everybody, and you've got a great bunch of people, a lot of people that love you and know that you do such great work, and we're going to send them all to Big Mac's Auto Sales. Mac DeLaup, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Great talking to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having us on, and love to hear from you guys. Keep in touch.
You do the same.
Thanks, Mac.
Thank you.
All right, time now for the In Wheel Time racing calendar.
Oh,
I know of one race in particular that's going to wrap up the season this weekend.
Yeah, there's not much racing going on. NHRA is this weekend, the finals in Pomona. Again, Erica's P6. But that was after qualifying round 1 yesterday. I don't know where she is today. I imagine they'll be in much better shape.
Well, she's already won the championship.
She's won the championship, but Robert Height and Brittany Force are still in the play for the championship of Funny Car and Top Fuel. So lots of stuff going on there. Formula One is this weekend at San Paulo Grand Prix. Well, did you see that Haas and Ericsson won the pole in the American Haas Formula One car? They run a Ferrari engine. It's their first time ever to win a pole, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Good
so
to
it's
know.
Not your favorite driver.
Good to know.
Kevin, I'm sorry, I said Ericsson. Kevin Magnussen, and his dad used to drive the Corvettes in IMSA GLP.
Yep.
And then next weekend is Abu Dhabi for the final for Formula One, and that's pretty much the end of it. Joey Logano won the NASCAR championship last weekend, and then December 6th, SCCA 6-hour enduro at MSR in Angleton, and that's pretty much the end of the racing season.
Sweet.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Jeff has an interesting feature here. Mustang prototypes.
Mustang prototypes. There's a lot.
Now, we're talking about the original Mustang prototype or prototypes of today?
The original, dating back to the original, the Mustang, and then moving up to today's prototypes. Not really to today's, but things that they did up to today. Now, the things that I noticed was we're going to make a Mustang, and then, okay, we did that. Let's do something else. So this is a progression of the things that actually went through the story. So the Mustang is one of the most famous global. I'll let you do it. One of the most famous global automotive icons. In fact, it's the only car that successfully transcended into the muscle pony car era. During its 55 years, the long history, the Mustang has gone a long way from the humble Falcon base to what we see today. The one that we're doing right now is this 1962 Mustang 1. The Mustang 1 concept was a big deal when Ford introduced it in the late 1962.
I believe that's the one that's in the Henry Ford.
Yes, as the most functional concept vehicle. First time they used the word Mustang to name a vehicle right at the start. Mustang was a little two-seater, and it was a V4 engine.
V4?
V4 engine in this particular vehicle. It was a Ford Euro engine.
Kind of like a Toro lawnmower.
Yeah, could have been. The next one would be the 1964 Mustang two-seater. Ford marketed the Mustang as a sports car, even though they built it on a Falcon platform with the regular engine configuration. So the critics thought that the car needed to be a two-seater configuration to be a proper sports car. The name, they named the result of the Mustang 3. It served as Ford's show car from 1964 to 65. Interestingly, this original car got lost, and then they found it in its same condition. So somebody misplaced it in whatever warehouse or museum.
How do you misplace that
I don't know, but they didn't call me.
And then eventually the 64 and a half, 65 was a 2+2. Mm-hmm. So it had a fold-down rear seat. But this is a shorter wheelbase
and
car.
A prototype to that version. The next one would be a 1965 all-wheel drive Mustang. 65 was already one of the hottest coupes globally, raised attention to the enthusiasts all over the world. And in England, the Ferguson Company, a well-established manufacturer of farm machinery, all-wheel drive systems, decided to convert a V8-powered Mustang into a capable all-wheel drive
I had
vehicle.
no clue.
Yeah.
Ferguson tractors.
I didn't know that
Ferguson
either.
tractors. The downside was it weighed too much. It had performance and everything, but the car was super, super duper heavy. Next one would be the Mustang 2 in 1967. Success of the production model gave the designers a chance to explore the sports concept in many directions.
Opel GT-ish.
That's what I thought, too.
But this was before the Opel GT.
Yes, it was. And it was called the Mach 2 concept. Several cars with the Mach name later appeared in regular production. The shape layout was quite unique, and yes, I thought about the Opel as well. The Mustang 2 is a two-seater, long hood, short rear end, mid-engine configuration, affordable version of the GT40 race car, and the stunning red paint. But, of course, this is black and white.
In black and white.
Yeah. Okay, this is the one that really doesn't have a good prototype heritage, but it's a Ford Mustang Boss 429 rear engine. Put a rear engine. The most interesting Mustang prototypes, even though it didn't appear on the circuit, like I said, in the 60s, it caused a lot of controversies. Basically, the 69 Boss 429 with an engine in the trunk. Now, they did make it work, and Ford turned the rear glass into a hatchback for the accessibility to the engine, and the whole conversion was surprisingly trouble-free. The Boss 429 had a 40-60 weight balance, which is good. But it added the weight over the rear axle, and it reduced wheel spin. But that's really a picture of the Boss 429. The last one, which is my favorite, and I dream about this car all the time, 76 Mustang wagon. Look at that.
That's still in the crate.
That's the Huckleberry there, I'm telling you what. 76, Ford decided to play around with the idea of a Mustang wagon. They decided to base it on the Mustang 2 platform. Come on, give it a break. Equipped it with a roof rack. Awesome. wood grain, incredible.
Yeah.
And in those days, the Chevrolet Vega had a 3-door station wagon, so Ford wanted to compete in that market. They wanted to put their little footprint in there. However, Mustang fans are grateful that this car never went beyond the concept, which I'm very disappointed in those folks.
Now they have the Mach-E wagon.
Yeah, now they do. Typical 70s fashion. It would have killed any sporty characteristics even back then. The Mustang 2 had almost destroyed the Mustang's reputation in the 60s, so a wagon version was the same.
Got to remember they had the King Cobra Mustang too that Farrah Fawcett advertised for.
That's right, she did. But the wagon, I'm a wagon guy. Yeah.
Dragon wagon.
All I could think of, what was the Buick station wagon? The great big, humongous.
Safari?
No.
That was a Pontiac.
Roadmaster.
Was it a Roadmaster
Roadmaster,
wagon?
yes.
A Roadmaster wagon.
That's a
I had a
beautiful
friend of mine had one, and the transmission was going out on it, and it went out when we were out watching the rodeo trail riders out. I don't know, Simonton. They were out way out there in the middle of nowhere. This little bitty country bumpkin gas station out there at the intersection. We waited and waited and waited, and they finally went by and got into this Roadmaster. And we added at least a gallon of transmission fluid to make it back to his house, and ultimately he had to replace the transmission in it. But my God, it was swallowing. I never knew a transmission could go through that much transmission fluid, but it was pouring out of it as fast as we could put it in.
I love station wagons.
Yep, I'm a wagon fan as well.
You know, I can see you hawking the BG stuff out of a station wagon. Why can't I see that?
I could too.
Kind of like a shoe salesman.
Well, you got to think the configuration of the rear passenger compartment for wagons. You know, they had the rear-facing one.
Yep.
They had the gates that dropped down into the bumper.
Yep.
They had them that
Full
opened
roll
up
down.
like a door.
Yep.
They had the Ford Country Squire where you sat on the sides facing each other.
Yep.
You know, they had the third row that was facing forward. You know, there was a lot of different configurations of wagons.
I was watching a TV show last week or two, and they had a Pontiac hearse, and I teared up. It was amazing.
Well, maybe when it's time for you to go, maybe we can get you in the Pontiac
hearse.
hearse.
Find one for you.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on the iHeart app, Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast channel. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting.
Hey, Houston! America's greatest hot rod tradition is back! Thanksgiving weekend! The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama at the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 action-packed days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, performance cars, and live music. Do not miss the Ultimate Lowrider Showcase, sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics and the Traditional Rod Garage. Saturday only, it's the Tuner Galleria with 250 imports, JDM, and luxury cars, plus music and models. On the celebrity stage, presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration, meet Bad Chad and wife Jolene from Bad Chad Customs on Friday. Saturday, it's Dave Kindig from TV's Bitch and Rise. Sunday, it's Danny Coker and Kevin Mack from TV's Counting Cars. Shop the swap meet and women's world all weekend. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. November 25th to 28th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com for more info.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.